past, and they got both. Overcommitting in the secondary, and he just went stepping past them and is still running, essentially.
One play, and he hits pay dirt.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now the Auburn product, Corey Grant, and just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Throwing on 2nd down, Jackson. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
I can't believe they even let you play. Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Rodgers nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Marching in for the sack, Matthew Judon.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. Now he'll let it go deep left sideline. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is 3rd down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
They try to run on 1st down, but this defense says no dice. They stop him a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick, and he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. They got to figure this out. They got to figure him out. 4 sacks last week. Now 1 in the first quarter. What do they do?
Well, great pass rushers usually have a go-to move, but the best pass rushers, they have counters to their go-to move. So they'll show you that. Then when you adjust, they counter it and still get to the quarterback. And he
fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. Charles, I don't know what's going on in that defensive team meeting room, but they better keep it rolling. 3 picks last week, 2 here now in the first quarter.
Everyone talks about creating turnovers and getting takeaways, but until it gets put into action, it's just talk. And right now, it's in action and in a big way. Now they've got the receivers wondering if they have to turn around and play more defense instead of running routes trying to take the ball downfield.
On 1st down, Grant. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They will run with Grant. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. And that is incomplete. It was Darnell Savage that time who was able to knock it away. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Now a first down carry by Jones. The 20. A big run there by Jones. Give him 42 yards on the ground.
And it is still early, just the first quarter. But you start prorating the numbers, and we might be in for some history. I mean, that last run puts him over 100 yards already, and we've still got 3 quarters to go.
Now Jones. Push. And a second effort gets him in. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. And the kick makes it through, but flags come flying in as well. It appears we're going to get a roughing call tacked on. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They go play action now. Jackson nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Trey Flowers, the former Arkansas Razorback, in there to get him.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead.
Mike 9. Let's get the ball. Mike 9. Mike 9. Do your job.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Jackson. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Ready. Hey, we got to see it. Let's go. Mike 9. Hey, we got to get to that. Mike over there. You can't block me. Mike 9.
On 3rd down, Jackson has got his man. It's Andrews. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A well-executed 22-yard gain. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. It's Grant. And some room to work. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one 28 yards on the ground.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 23. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Now it's Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Aaron Donald in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. Over the middle, it's complete. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's 4th down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent game. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, of that marker. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. A little jet sweep to start the drive. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
57's a mic. 57's a mic.
Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad. Throwing is Rodgers. He's got his man, Valdez-Scantling. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive continues. 3rd and 4, he did just enough. I mean, just enough to move the chains.
And that's all you're looking for, right? Just want to keep the drive moving. You don't need the big play there. Just get to that marker that you described, and he was able to do just that.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a 1st.
1st down, Green Bay.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Throwing now is Rodgers. He sets up the screen to Jones. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there at 22. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half.
Let's go, baby.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. To throw, it's Rodgers. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. As his guys are in for 6. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. So the quarterback drops to throw, looks over, and boom, a guy that wide open. He has to be thinking, wait a minute, this is some kind of a dream. This is too easy.
Yeah, a great dream. One you don't want to wake up from. But for the defense, almost feels like there was a bust in coverage.
This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 20. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
To try again after the sack. Jackson. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. The first defensive back taken in this year's draft, Darnell Savage there to knock that one away.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Jackson throwing on 3rd and long. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his second of the game. Instead, 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. After the penalty, it's Jones. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid game. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. They come out here in the I. The line of scrimmage is the 2 here on 3rd and goal. They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Aaron Jones in the final seconds of the first half. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Oh, how about this? No good. Just his 2nd miss of the year. And our score will stay right where it is. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This is taken at his 4.
Here we go. Here we go.
We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This is taken at his 4. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. On 2nd and 12, Jackson. They're going to set up the screen here. This is Grant. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down. So nothing there on the screen that time.
That means all that great acting they tried on offense went for naught, didn't it? Because you have to try and influence them. Make them think that you're doing something else. Make them think that they can get to the passer by letting them by and then setting up the screen and getting downfield. Didn't happen at all. Give a lot of credit to the defense for not tumbling to that one.
Here's Jackson to throw. He's going to air one out. And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes it down deep into Green Bay territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. Here's Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Zadarius Smith, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. From the gun, Jackson. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Darnell Savage. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Check. Hey, flag. Back north.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Rodgers, he's going to rifle one deep left side. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. Wide open receiver complete. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a 1st. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Hey, check motion man. Put your hands on him. Get hands on motion man. Watch twitch. Down me.
From the gun, it's Rodgers.
Set.
And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. The wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
Big
to the air on second down. It's Rodgers. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And, oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Aaron Donald, it's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down. The Ravens send their punter out now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This is brought in at the 21. 12 yards on the return that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. Looking around the league from Raymond James Stadium, they're in the 3rd quarter in Tampa. And the Saints have extended their lead in that ball game. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Matt Judon able to record his 5th sack of the season. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Now left side on the swing pass. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down.
So many screen passes are the result of excellent acting by everyone. But sometimes the guy who's getting the ball tips the play off. The running back, because he's eager to get the pass. And sometimes he doesn't act very well about whether he's going to block or leak out or whatever. And I think that they saw that, and that's why they're able to get to him on it.
First target, first catch, and a 1st down.
It's a gain of 20. 1st down, Green Bay.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. On 1st down, Rodgers. And he's going to be taken down. They sack him on what will be the final play of quarter number 3. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Here's Rodgers. Flush to his right. And that's caught inside the 35. A gain of 32 that time. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
Rodgers now on 1st down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off down at the 10, and he returns it here to his own 18-yard line. So they get the takeaway, but that's just step 1. They still have a lot of work to do.
But they don't want to focus on that now. Now it's about getting the ball in the end zone and hoping they can take it away again.
Yeah, still a 3-score game, though, 4th quarter. A nice-looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. It's a gain of 34. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Eluding the pressure right. And that is incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Jackson throwing on target to Brown. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
Third and 2. Here's Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury.
Mike 7. Tighten up, tighten up. Pull it together. Mike 7.
They're going on fourth down. It's Jackson. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked off at the 28. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. Well, I get it, Charles. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Down big. They just sent their receivers out and let it fly. But the defense, they were ready.
Yeah, and there aren't too many people left in this stadium that couldn't see that coming. But that's not a major criticism at all.
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. Well executed there on second down. So do you go back to the air on third?
Well, that's a possibility. But now you've opened up things to where you showed that you would run the ball in long-distance situation. You might come back again because I doubt they believe you'll do it a second time.
He's coming, he's coming. He's right there. Check 3. Check 300. Check 300.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. They're going to line up to go for this on fourth down. Rodgers stays on the field.
26. Go, go.
They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. And he's going to go down again. The Packers unable to pick up the first. And that will force a turnover on downs.
Mike 13. You better bring it.
On first down, Grant. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Tackle made at the 38-yard line. It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4.
They go back to Grant, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's third down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. To throw is Jackson. Throw left side complete. That's Terry. 12 yards the pickup there. Good for a Raven first. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week. Try to get some momentum going.
This will be caught by Brown. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. No gain on the screen there. It's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He can make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. To throw again on 2nd down. Jackson. And it's incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Mike 13, Mike 13. He's coming, he's coming. Check in. I'm coming. Mike 13, Mike 13. Yeah. You don't want none. Mike 13, Mike 13.
3rd and goal, Jackson. Forced out to his left. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Lamar Jackson, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens cut into that lead.
Well, that's what you want.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
But they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, for a second there, I had flashbacks to a few years ago, the NFC Championship game for the Packers, but here they're able to hold on.
And many things changed in Green Bay after that game. Personnel, people coaching, the whole deal. And in this case, they get it done. No fail like they had in Seattle.
3 down. Check 43. Out.
Rodgers throwing here. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Rodgers to throw again. Looking left side, and it's complete. 27 yards there, a 1st down. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth, when the ball's arriving and there's a defender there.
And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. From 17 yards out. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. And it's no good. It has not been his day. That's the 2nd extra point he's missed so far. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well. But
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. One last shot for Jackson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory. And you've got to say, CD, it was the defense who had a big part in the W.
Oh, without question. When you force 4 turnovers, you get to enjoy the spoils of victory, don't you? It's rare that you force 4 turnovers and lose a ball game. That's almost unheard of. They carried this one home. You talk about celebrating with each other and being in a word. All you think about is, let's get 5 next time. They're going to be on the hunt.
So for Green Bay, they keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 8-3 on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, they've fallen out of things now as they sink to 3-8. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week